Hello, this is Matt from Matt Hall Writes Copy, and today I'm doing a website copy review for FloridaMaids.com. This is another cleaning website. There's a ton of these popping up right now, and for good reason. There's a huge demand for it all over the country, and by targeting a specific geographic area, you can build a profitable business very quickly. So let's dive into it and start taking a look at this website's copy and design. First, let's start off with the audience. The audience for people needing maid services in Orlando is probably pretty unique. Orlando's a huge tourist destination, and so there are probably a lot of people who own condos or maybe who are managing properly remotely that need some sort of maid service. I don't really feel that that specific audience is being represented on this page. I feel like this is kind of broadly targeting people who are looking for a maid service in Orlando, and you've got some good keyword stuff going on here. Excuse me. But and then this is some keyword stuffing, so that's a little iffy. But there are I think there's some opportunities here to be more precise in the types of people that you're targeting. Now, of course, you're not just targeting condo owners who are renting their condos to tourists. You're also targeting homeowners. So I think hopefully some of the suggestions I offer will help to reach both of those audiences effectively. So next, let's start out with the call to action. It says book online now. That's pretty okay. That's fine. I think we can make that a little stronger and leave it with like an emotional benefit. Get people to connect with the action. So let's change this to, where is that button? There we go. Let's change this to something like book your cleaning in 60 seconds. So this little call to action, it's not too long. It's much more specific. It gives a very clear time frame of what they can expect. 60 seconds, yeah, I got that. If you want to even make it a little more interesting, you can kind of, I'm going to rip this off from AppSumo, but you could say 47 seconds. That's very specific, and it's like, oh, 47 seconds, they know exactly how long this is going to take, let's do it. The person is much more likely to click that button and book an appointment. Next, so that's good. You've got the call to action in a few places. Learn more or book now. Again, we have the same opportunity. Book your, oops, that was weird. Let's go to, sorry, I thought I could shortcut. And book your cleaning now. Learn more, book your cleaning now. Again, much more specific and clear. I think this is a call to action that will probably perform a little better than what you have now. So let's move on to the headline. A trusted maid service in Orlando. There's a few things about this headline that I'd like to change. First, the size. We want your headline to be much, much bigger. So let's go over and change this to font family, font weight, margin bottom. There we go, font size. Can we change it here? Nope, let's change font size. This should 3em. Everything is H1 apparently. Okay. So I think H1 should be 5em. The problem is all this stuff is in the same heading. So this is a good web design lesson and why you should use headings, because if you had this stuff as H2 or as paragraph text, you wouldn't have the problem of, well, I guess this changes all of it. Let's actually turn that off. Let's try this. Okay, never mind. That was my bad. So changing H1 to a trusted maid service in Orlando, make this a little bigger. It's very clear. Next, we have this subheading, which is just a paragraph. Let's, instead of making a paragraph, let's make it heading 2. Let's try heading 3. So just see if it's a different color. Nope. And heading 3 is very broken, so we're going to go back to heading 2 and not worry about it. You want your headline to stand out. You want your subheadline to stand out too. The point of making it bigger so your eye is drawn to it. Anytime my eye has to work to read something, such as this text here, it's a little too hard, and we want to fix that. Next, let's talk about the actual copy in your headline. There's a really good adage in advertising that says, don't sell a mattress, sell a good night's sleep. And I feel like that's the number one lesson I'd like you to take from this copy review today. Your website is loaded with benefits, features, and descriptions, but I'm not seeing a lot of a good night's sleep, especially in the headlines people are going to be scanning. Your body copy does that a little bit, but the main priority is for you to show people the benefits of your service. So instead of a trusted maid service in Orlando, what about you'll love, okay, for some reason, oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. Now I just realized why my space bar is not working. You'll love your clean home. Okay, you'll love your clean home. This is something that connects to people. They're like, yeah, I will love my clean home. Maybe you deserve your clean home or something like that. This is just pulled off the top of my head. So try a few things, maybe find some swipe files and get some ideas. But something like this connects a lot more and allows people to begin visualizing their clean home and visualizing your service in a way that makes them more interested in booking. Next, your subheadline. Not bad. Let's make this a little bit better. So, Florida Maids is an Orlando maid service. Still got some SEO. Dedicated to making your home making your life easier. Let our maids worry about the mess. You sit back and enjoy having your home professionally cleaned. Again, they're able to visualize that. There's an emotional component, but more importantly, it's led with a benefit. We're going to worry about the mess. You just get to enjoy having your home. You get to feel joy. You get to feel relaxation. You don't have to worry about stress. And then we've got this here, which is the button. I wonder if we can make that bigger. Let's make that 12 point. Let's make this like 36 pixels. Okay. We'll have to worry about. We'll have to fix the margins and padding and stuff a little bit. Margin bottom. Let's do 10 pixels. Nah. Point is, all of this, let's make this all a little bit bigger when we can. I'm having a little bit of trouble just doing a rough edit of your HTML or CSS, I guess. So you'll have to do that on your own. Sorry about that. So the body, let's move on to the body font. This is a little too small. Right now my window's sized at 1080p, which is a pretty average size. It's not even that big of a monitor. At 1080p isn't really even that big of a screen. So if your font is this small and I have to work this hard to squint and see, okay, you know, I have good eyes and I still have to make an effort to read this instead of being able to scan it. That's kind of contrary to how people naturally look over websites. People want to scan, they want to skim, they want to see information, especially if this is the 5th site they've looked at to find a maid. They want all the information to be very clear to see immediately without any extra effort or work. So I would make this paragraph text bigger. Right now it's what, probably, let's see, font size 12 pixels. I would make this probably 18. Yeah, probably 18 pixels or so would be about right, because I can read this so much better. It just looks nicer. We've got some issues. Oops. Your whole page kind of gets a little wonky when I change one thing, so sorry about that. But again, especially with this, there's so much text. With text this small, this is a very, very wide paragraph. By making the text bigger, it doesn't feel as wide. It doesn't feel like it's as difficult to read across. So that's what I'd suggest. Finally, let's jump down to this, where it says FL Maids floor. Oops. Okay, well, it doesn't really work. But let's change FL Maids. You're kind of ruining your branding here. Let's just say Florida Maids. Just type out the word Florida. It's okay. This way you preserve your branding. Florida Maids is the name of your company. Florida Maids Cleaning Services. FL Maids might be fine for an internal company memo, but for your website, especially when you call it Florida Maids right here, you want to make sure that you're consistently referring to your brand the same way. Again, and then I already talked about changing this. The last thing I want to mention, and this is probably one of the most, I'm going to be honest, this is the most aggravating thing about your site. It's this scroller, this JavaScript scroller. So I don't know if you rent cars a lot, but I used to rent cars all the time. And it would be so frustrating when I'd get in a rental car and I'd go to hit the gas and it would just jerk forward. And I'd feel like a bad driver. I'd feel dumb. I'd feel annoyed. I'd feel frustrated that this stupid car didn't accelerate normally. That's how I feel when I scroll on your website. I'm not trying to be too mean or critical, but this assisted scroller thing, it's not as natural. It's not the same speed as my normal scrolling, and I feel like I'm jerking forward or hitting the gas too hard in a rental car. It's not pleasant, and it distracts from the experience of using your website. It makes it frustrating. Anything that draws attention from your message to an element. So if you have like a picture that draws too much attention, if you have a headline that draws too much attention, the goal is to share your message. The headline's meant to share your message. The imagery is meant to support your message. This scrolling should support your message, and it doesn't. It distracts from it. I would say kill it. Go to a regular scroller, figure out how to turn it off in your theme, just do regular scrolling, and that will probably make your website much more, well, no, it will definitely make your website much easier to use. So hopefully that's a good start. I mean, it's a great theme you picked. It's very attractive. You have a very simple, clean layout. This image here is really nice. I'm not usually a huge fan of parallax, but this looks really good. So if you have any questions about this, feel free to email Matt at matthallwritescopy or visit my semi-daily blog at tldr.matthallwritescopy.com. Good luck with your cleaning service.